0-3 off of these first 3 camps. Now, to make this dive possible in the bot lane, it's really important that BDS have the push in bot. And because they're playing Xayah into the Aphelios, that's something they can get relatively easily with the Feathers. Crowny and Labrov also positioned very aggressively to make sure they can hit these waves first and get that crash moving on forward. Now, at this point, all BDS effectively need is to burn this TP from the Gragas, right? There's a big wave crashing on the top side of the map that, in theory, Adam should be able to TP back to. And if this TP doesn't come in, they would have just gone through with the dive. But the second that is gone through, everything goes wrong. Oh no, Adam said after the game they'd practiced this before and he'd literally never been hooked in this situation. He'd always gotten back to the top wave, and this was a new experience for him that ended up going a little bit against the grain. Now, luckily for Adam, he ended up just running down this Thresh. It was very silly. Mersa, of course, misses the flay. This probably shouldn't happen, and he ends up getting the kill, and it's all good there. But one idea I would actually like to bring to this dive, if any Scion enthusiasts, double jungle enthusiasts want to try this one out themselves, is I think there could have been an option for the Scion to go ahead and actually lose himself to passive early on. If he had gone away from red buff, I wish this could go a little bit faster, but you know, it is what it is. If Scion had left red buff a little bit earlier, tanked Krugs, and died, if they could have perfectly timed the wave crash in bot lane, he could have used his passive to tank the tower, and possibly when he dies, doesn't actually give over the first blood, he would have already been dead. Just an idea, just a thought, but regardless, I love the innovation out of Team BDS, and they're gonna be playing Fnatic in just a second. So let's talk about Fnatic.
I think Fnatic is hoping that he doesn't show up to the lane at all with the way things have been going on their side. And, well, excuse the joke, but let's talk a little bit more seriously about Fnatic. It's interesting because Adam, of course, was on Fnatic before. Now he's found other pastures over at BDS and is doing quite well. On the other hand, we've got the rookie in Oscar Rinen, who's had a really rough time on Fnatic overall, but for people who missed ready check treats, it's not something you can look at in an isolated perspective when it comes to how this roster has been doing and how they haven't been able to win.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like nothing has been working for them. They've tried to play multiple different comps, multiple different styles to different lanes, and kind of just nothing has clicked, right? So I think what they're looking to bring to this week is kind of a clear perspective of what they want to do and where they want to play around, and just make it very clear and go back to the basics, because they kind of need to be honest, to get a win on the board.
True. Just getting copy in a second, because obviously you can't see that, you can see that they're not in the studio, and I have some context in just a second. It's due to ongoing illness on Fnatic, so the game will be played remotely from the team's facilities. We of course wish them a speedy recovery, and on that side, BDS is then also playing from their facilities, I believe. Right? Production? Yes.
I believe so.
Sorry.
Yes.
In any case, when it comes to Fnatic, it's always such a difficult situation to look at because of the championship winning team that they've been for so long. But when you look at it, that was 5 years ago. That's crazy. And obviously, you would think you have a lot of head start when you are in this position because the players want to play for you. You've got the sponsors' attraction and all of that. So it's really incredible that they found themselves in this position. How do you even start to go against the grain?
Well, the thing is, it's been a long time since they've lifted the trophy, but they have remained very competitive throughout the years as well, reaching towards the top spots as well without taking it home. So this is a real breakaway for them, where they finished in 9th place, didn't qualify to the BO3's last split. Again, starting off 0-3, really, really tough look with 2 big roster changes coming through from them. But I think that for Fnatic, like, there is so much mounting pressure because of the history, because of 2 young players coming into this roster as well at the last second without a lot of time to work with the team, that now you find yourself in a situation just like last split where you're down 0-3 very early on and you're just struggling to find wins to make it to top 8.
Yeah, and the playoff and the regular season brackets obviously don't help with the regular season being 9 games. If they don't make it, it's like they don't have a lot of chances to prove themselves, right? And being 0-3 start, it just makes it so much worse. Now, they're obviously also sick and playing from home, so there's going to be a lot of extra factors there too. So it feels like everything is just going against them.
It's a disaster for them, especially because if we look at last split, right, it was 3 wins was the break-off. And that can change split to split, but 3 wins was enough to guarantee top 8 in winter split, right? Fnatic have 3 games left, and they already lost to the worst team in winter,
6
right?
6 games.
What did I say?
3.
6. They've played 3 games. They have 6 games left. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
But because they've already lost to Excel, who was 10th place last split, now you are sort of forced to find some like big surprise wins, right? So like BDS was a team middle of the pack, maybe stretching for Fnatic, but a win here would do so much to put them back in the race. But they have a lot of hard matchups still remaining, is what I'm trying to say, because they've already lost to Excel.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's crazy and really cool that we're talking about BDS in this way, because this is also something we wouldn't have thought in the past. The fact that they would be, you know, we're thinking they're going to comfortably get to the next round, to the group stage. Of course they are treats. And I think for that roster, that is very impressive to start us off.
Yeah, and also if you make playoffs, then obviously you get more practice in the winter split as well. So it kind of just snowballs, right? BDS, they got some extra games, more than Fnatic. Now they're matching up again, and Fnatic are kind of down bad right now. So I think for BDS side, they really need to make it work as well. And they're looking for a better record than last split, obviously, as well.
They are, but for Fnatic, it's been 49 days since their last win. Will this be it?
Oof, 49 days since Fnatic have won a game. I'm going to just dig the blade a little more. Upset has more wins this year than Fnatic as an organization. And this is a difficult situation to be in. Now, quick update, due to the ongoing illnesses at the Fnatic house, the game will be played remotely from the team's facilities. We are wishing the Fnatic members a speedy recovery. We hope to see them back on the LEC stage soon. That means, of course, BDS will be playing from their own facilities too. We'll have the Teddy Bears on stage. And Kedril, I want to see something different from Fnatic. I want to see an approach to this game. I want to see a proactiveness that I haven't seen over the last week, and I don't know what the answer is going to be.
Yeah, I was watching their Legends in Actions thing they do behind the scenes, and apparently, you know, scrims was going well, practice was going pretty decent, things just weren't translating to stage, and they looked really hesitant, and they were frustrated after the games.
Well, we'll find out.
So we need to see confidence.
Maybe
Fnatic.
playing from home can help. Maybe a little bit of
Yeah,
comfort might work out. So Fnatic vs BDS are about to hit the draft. So if scrims are going well, if you can glean some information from that, what do you want to see from picks and bans here? I think for Fnatic as a whole, I might argue there's not necessarily just a draft issue or a draft challenge. I think the players have not necessarily been on the same page. I think close game against XL, but the next two, they just got run over Sunday and Monday last week.
They need a power lane. They need something that they can really play through. I feel like Fnatic have lost their direction, and it's come down to mid-jungle a bit too much. So they need something on a side lane that they can start to index on. And I feel like with Oscar coming in, it was supposed to be top, but that kind of fell apart after 2 days, and then they put him on Scion duty. So we'll see what kind of champion he opts into this time around.
Let's find out from the draft. So Aurelion Sol removed from the pool, Annie as well as that. Varus taken out. The Zyra Khan is something that we've been talking about over